Greetings, Guruvanam. I'm right now sitting next to the 44 powerful energy caves of Bhagwan Nityananda, which he constructed with his own hands here. And this is supposed to be in a place called Kanhangad in Kerala. So this is one side of the caves. Behind me are the 44 caves. So I'm just sitting here and wanting to share a message, beautiful message. I was in the caves for some time, morning meditation, and I'm out. But since morning I had something lingering in my head which I wanted to just share about this place and about Bhagwan Nityananda and about the Avadhootas, because Bhagwan Nityananda is considered to be an Avadhoot, a mystic, with what I call as mystic. So we have a group. I've started a group long back named the Mystical Mystics. It's got a blog, it's got a Facebook page, and it's got a group also, a very active group where people share all information from all mystics around the world. Mystics are those people who have transcended ego completely and who have weird ways of living, and we don't understand them. And that's one reason I wanted to focus and bring out the lives of all the mystics, because they are widely misunderstood, also very, very widely misunderstood, because their behaviors and their actions and the way they live do not suit or do not regulate as per the norms of human living. So they are, because they have transcended their ego, because they have transcended all these qualities, obviously they don't adhere to these kind of rules and regulations constructed by human beings. So they are free, they are liberated. That's why they are called liberated beings. They are completely liberated from all catches of Maya. Maya is illusion, because this is all illusionary. All these qualities that we see here, that is so luring, is all illusory. However, when we are living in the body, it's quite real, because I do not want to discard it as completely illusory. It is real while we are in the ego self. Till we are in the ego self, it's all very real. But once the ego is transcended, these things can be understood, how liberating it is. So the mystics and the avadhoots are those divine beings. So according to me, they are superhumans or supermans of the planet, because they are the highest embodiment of godliness or God, or that supreme power, what we call as God, the source, the supreme source. They are the ultimate examples, live examples of divinity walking in human flesh. And because, as I said, they have transcended all this, all the human qualities, they do not act or behave like humans, because there is nothing humanly in them. So they are widely misunderstood, because it doesn't adhere to our understanding of what they are doing and why they do certain things. So Bhagwan Nityananda was one such being here. He did a lot of things here in and around this place, and a lot around Ganeshpuri in Maharashtra. If you read his life history, you will come to know he had his own kind of teachings, which he did not give any preaching or teaching, but the people who were next to him noted down whatever he spoke, and he spoke in high trance, in states of high states of consciousness. So most of the time it didn't make sense, but it had high relevance. So the people who understood the importance of these words recorded it. And one such great being was Tulsi Amma, who was the closest disciple of Bhagwan. She noted it in Kannada, and then it was all published, and it became very popular now. It's becoming popular now. It wasn't seeing the highlight in the earlier years. So now because the consciousness of people are rising, they are able to understand and decipher these messages. So Chidakasha Gita is something that I would highly recommend for those who are seeking liberation, on the path of liberation, and who want to transcend the human conditioning and the human ego. Because still we accept and become aware of our own ego self. That is the biggest hindrance to our evolution. There is nothing that can be done beyond it. So becoming aware, as per what I have to say, or how I perceive things, is becoming aware of it is the first step to transcending it. So Bhagwan Nityananda, as he is known as Bhagwan. Why he is called as Bhagwan? Because Bhagwan means God in Hindi or Sanskrit. So he was of that stature, and there are very few who realize that. I have one example, because I came here yesterday, and I was talking to one divine person here, and he said, while I was in Mukambika, Kollur, so 3 days I was there, and I came from there. So when he came to know that I am there, he sent me a photograph of an Avadhoot somebody who's in Tirthalli. And he said, go and meet him. He's very close there. But since I had already left from that place and I couldn't go there. So I saw the photograph and he's sitting with a dog and he sits in the bus stand, I'm told. So he's a rag picker. He picks up rag in the bus station or bus stand of Tirthalli. And he does all those trivial tasks, all those tasks which are considered to be very lowly stature. So when we think of somebody who is highly evolved, we think him to be sitting on some kind of a throne and sitting from there and commanding and demanding and all those things and talking and all. It's not like that. If you see history, the more higher being gets evolved, the more slower that being is. So it's almost down to dust, because that's what Bhagwan Nityananda said. His biggest teaching was sab mati hai, everything is dust. So he wanted everybody to realize that. So he had a lot of teachings, and in the end he said always everything is dust. So he is a person who was actually talking what he is in that state that he is in. So when he says everything is dust, he knew what he's saying. And he behaved and he lived like that. He was a man of dust. He lived in the dust. He sat down. He rolled in the mud. He rolled in the excreta, and see how disgusting it sounds. It's not, because for them the tattva, that element, is everything. The godliness is in everything. They have reached a state where they can see God in every single particle. So at that state of level of consciousness, there is nothing that is foul. That is nothing that, even the experience is that way. It's not just thinking it to be all godly. No, the experience also is that way. For example, when he used to be rolling in human waste, and people used to get embarrassed and wash him, so people would dare not to go very close to him because the stink of the human waste. But whenever those who managed to pull him out of it and managed to wash him, because of the ultimate utmost love that they had for him, they saw that he was emitting sandalwood, fragrance of sandalwood. That is what I mean. When they are in that state, it all converts to that. Whatever the quality of the element may be, it converts to very high level of stature. So this is one example that I gave. So he said everything is mud, everything is dust. Ultimately everybody returns to that. That is what he was trying to say. Everyone has come from it and they go back to it. So there's nothing to feel so high or low about life itself. It's just an experience that to come and experience and go. So this was one of the biggest message of Bhagwan Nityananda. So I was telling, this person sent me this photograph of this Avadhoot in Tirthalli, and I couldn't meet him, and then I was told that he roams about in that bus stand and he does all these kind of so-called stupid things. And so whenever people rush to him, they see him in that state and they say, oh my God, and they might go away. Actually, this is one way that they protect themselves from unwanted people. Those who understand this teacher only can go nearer to them. Otherwise, they don't even want, or there is no desire to go close to them. So it's a kind of protection shield that they, or a masking that they do deliberately also, and they have no value for anything. So they don't keep anything on their heads. So he lives in this bus stand, and I'm told that whoever comes, he feeds them, or he gives them tea, or he gives them snacks out of his own money, and the money which people give it to him. So all that he does is he collects the money and gives it back to the world. This is how compassionate they are. They don't keep anything for themselves. Anything. They don't. Avadhootas are known not to even store a single penny for themselves. Even Bhagwan Nityananda was that way. Only one loincloth, and that's his only position. And that position was only to protect this sanctity of the people's ego, because the disciples around him and the people around him used to beg for it. Don't roam around naked, there are ladies here, people feel embarrassed, and all the Britishers used to tell. So for their sake, he just hid one part of his body, and that is with the loincloth. Otherwise, he was not even concerned with that loincloth. So it is said that the loincloth would fall down whenever anybody tried to tie up a loincloth around his waist, because that's the significance, that nothing sticks to an Avadhoot. Everything just falls off. So that's the most beautiful example that I could suggest. Okay, then I was talking about this Avadhoot I could not meet and all that. So this person told me he had gone to meet in the Avadhoot, and he had a good experience and all that. And then he said he saw a small photograph of Nityananda. The Avadhoot saw the small photograph of Nityananda and asked probably who's this person. So this person said that he is Swami Nityananda. He looked at him closely, at the photo closely, and the Avadhoot said, he is not a Swami, he is Bhagwan Nityananda. So you can imagine, I'm getting goosebumps while I say this. So you can imagine the status and the stature of even an Avadhoot. They can recognize the real stature of somebody. So this place where I'm sitting, this is all his handmade construction. This is all his product. He made this ashram here. And whom did he make it for? He made it for seekers, serious seekers, serious, who are serious to get to the heights of knowing that everything is dust. It's only meant for those, because I have seen here, I've been coming here for more than close to 15 years now. Almost 3-4 times I have to come every year here. And my experiences have been very profound. It has significantly helped my soul journey, because the power energies that is there here, it's very cleansing, purifying and uplifting. And God knows what is real Sankalpa was. Sankalpa is the will, the volition that the Avadhoota made. So Bhagwan had a certain volition when he made this, and he obviously made it for people. This is not for sightseeing, or he did not make it to keep it stored in a museum and talk to the world about what a construction he has created. No, he meant it for very practical purpose, and practical purpose is to do tapas here. It is meant for tapasvis, those who can do tapas here. So people come to do tapas here, as well as people come to sightsee this place, because it's something new, and they don't see this, and they consider it like a ancient historical monument when somebody had built this, and they want to see the caves and very curious. All well and fine, and nothing bad about it also, because if anybody enters this place, that's how I take it. Even if an evil person enters this place with an evil intent or whatever, or if a person is very polluted or dirty from within also, it shouldn't matter, because they never judge people. The Avadhootas never judge, it was made for everybody. So if somebody even walks and strolls through these caves, they will be affected by the energy. That's more than enough. So I tell people, let's not talk about what's happening. Though it's a thing like, it has not got its recognition what it has to get. That's all fine. But we cannot say that the evil people should give. No, it is meant for everybody. And it works. And I told you, the law of karma just pulls you to these places. Who is meant for these places, they will be there. No power can stop them. I've seen this past 15 years, all this happening. So they come, people come here, people do. Very less quantity of people come for tapas purpose, but they have immensely benefited. Because I call this as one of the very powerful vortex. That is why I'm pulled here again and again. So it's a purification kind of a place. If somebody comes, they can have a bathe in the cosmic energies here, and just live around in the space for minimum 3 days, and they go back. You can see it's a very palpable, tangible result that you will see and feel and experience while you go back. So it's something that is hallucinatory or something. No, it's real, it's tangible. So I was here moving around, and I was contemplating on Bhagwan's that stature of Bhagwan, and what he was. He never even had that awareness of who is he. That I-ness goes off in such a way that you're not even in that state of claiming that I am somebody, or that I is gone to an extent. He is just like a cosmic robot, you can say. They move like cosmic robots. They are completely under that divine will, and they are completely do what is spontaneous and what is needed at that hour. They have no mind of their own. They do not calculate anything. They don't have an intellect where they can, use their intelligence in any way. No, it's absolutely free flowing. That is why they deal differently with different people. So, and they are very mystical. Like I was with some couple of people here who have come from Mumbai, and they belong to the families of the followers of Bhagwan Nityananda. I mean, the ladies who are there, their parents, their father and all was very close with Bhagwan Nityananda. They used to every Sunday supposedly go to Ganeshpuri and attend the satsangs. Here also, when they were there, she was talking, her father used to come here and meet and be in the vicinity. Every weekly they used to be in the vicinity of Bhagwan. Bhagwan, all that he did and all, they used to tell them in childhood. Even she was taken to Bhagwan. She doesn't remember 1-2 years old. So, but she had that fortune to be in the darshan or in the sight of Bhagwan. So she said she has all those little photographs and she'll share. So she was talking about experiences with Bhagwan, and we were talking about a couple of Avadhootas. Like there one is Karunakar Swami, an Avadhoot who was in that state, and nobody could really understand him. He could not be judged in any way. So whenever anybody went to him, he was very crystal clear. He was very spontaneous, and some people he spoke very harsh, some people he bait, some people he used filthy language, some people he talked lovingly, some people he treated well, some people he asked to get out, some people he didn't take in, and all those examples it went on. It all depended on what is the reflection of the person. So, and they are very jovial people. They don't take life very seriously. They are not attached to anybody, but they are concerned, but they are not attached. Strange quality. Concerned very much, but attached not at all. This is what I define as unconditional love. Very deeply concerned, but not attached at all. This is unconditional love. So they have this kind of a quality. I had the fortune of meeting him twice or thrice when he was in his body. So he was very mystical. And whenever we go to Avadhootas, we are a little scared. Obviously, our ego is a little scared of what might happen. So those days I was very new to all this. I was learning. I was observing from the Avadhootas, their state and what they talk, how they live. So majestically, they are majestic people. They are kings. They are emperors. They don't care a damn for anyone, anything in this world. They are their own emperors and scared of nothing, scared of no one. They live in that kind of a space, So that's why I call that godly space. And one example she gave was how humorous they are also, the Avadhoots. I have seen a lot of humor in the Avadhoots that I've met, the mystics that I've met. They don't take life very seriously. So if they want to tell somebody, teach somebody, they will do it very lovingly. They have their own ways also. Of course, they are harsh also, but in their harshness also there is humor and there is a lightness. So one example she was giving me, that somebody went once, she was there with, had gone to meet Karunakar Swami, and so there were some other ladies and people. So there Bhagwan's Shishya, disciple, Karunakar Swami, was sitting in Matunga, in a place called Matunga in Mumbai, one of the biggest slums. And when he looked at a certain lady, and the lady complained that she has got a certain backache, a very bad pain, and said, please heal this backache. And it's paining, it's awful, and she was complaining about it. And then Avadhoota Karunakar Swami was looking at her and saying, okay, now you are having the pain. You remember, this is a replica of what she said. You remember the small lights, different colorful lights, and you were dancing there, and that time you did not have any pain, and now you have that pain. So he went actually to the source of where it came from, where it began from. So probably what he was talking was a pub or a discotheque or something like that. So there are many incidences like that, where with humor, with all that, with lightness, they talk about, they just reveal who you are and what, and they hit straight to the point. They have nothing to beat around the bush. We beat around the bush when when there is ego and all that. So there's no beating around the bush. It's straight to the point, and they don't care who cares what. And yes, one of the biggest qualities that I've seen in these mystics they talk about, and they are from all religions. Their bodies are rather from all religions. I've seen mystics from the Christian field, from the Sikhism, from Hinduism, from Islam. There have been great Nabis and beings like that, and they have different names. Somebody who's called Nabi in Islam or Muslim community is called an Avadhoot in Hindu community. So communities belong to us, the people. We create it and we go with it, and we are stuck with it and we die with it. The Avadhootas are risen beyond caste, community, creed, culture, tradition, religion. Anything that is customized, that is ours, not theirs. They don't belong to anything that is customized. They belong to the uncustomized field of life that is this earth as it is. This planet, this cosmos as it is, without any qualities, without any egoic tendencies in this. It's ego that divides, it's ego that feels that caste is different, this community is different, that religion is different, And the moment you differentiate and say that is different from me, you have created a wall and you have separated yourself from the truth. The truth is that all is one. Everybody is come from that same divine source, and we are sparks of the same light. If we are sparks of the same light, what divides us? The ego. So the egoic tendency of humans says, no, that is different, I am different, and the moment they say that and realize that, they experience a wall between themselves and others. And when there is a wall, definitely there is distribution, definitely there is partition, and when there is partition, you know what happens. Obviously, the first thing that happens is a sense of superiority comes into the being, and I feel superior, because when do I criticize, or when do I judge, or when do I differentiate other beings? When I feel I'm superior, because I feel me or mine, me, my religion, my tradition, my community, my path, my culture, my people, my place, me and mine. I say this is mine because I feel superior, and rest everybody becomes inferior. That is why I call this is best, this is nothing like this. So we are immediately creating a separation, and that is the biggest obstacle to liberation. So that is why I have been following very deeply the mystics, because they are the beings who are literally liberated. They have nothing to hold on to. So the seekers, the serious seekers on the path of liberation, they are the best role models for the ideals that we can follow. So there is a group that I have here. I'll put the link here if you like. You can join, and you can see all the mystics. Everybody is there. Even the current mystics are there. The past, especially past, we had many great mystics, and we try to bring out all the people that post there. So beautifully they post, and from where all they get, and everything that is resonating with the highest truth. Nothing that divides, nothing that talks of any division or talks about superiority, inferiority is avoided there completely. And obviously we avoid all kind of remarks, judgments, because there it's very clear, the rules are very clear. Do not judge or do not criticize. Do not create fear. Do not induce guilt into somebody's head. This is right, this is wrong, because then we are going back to the same old story, and we do not want that space to be affected in any way. So we immediately take off members who are argumentative, debative, or they want to attack some other divine being, or even the community members and all that. So we don't want that. So it's a place just to observe, to learn from, and evolve, and use it in our life. That's what I always say. We must look at all these characteristics of these great beings and include them in our lives, which we do not understand, which does not resonate with us. That should be shelved there itself. It's not useful for us. Shelve it. But we should refrain from judgment, because we do not know. We judge because we do not know. We judge only because we have the knowledge or the awareness of just these 5 limited senses. And the truth is beyond all these 5 senses. It's beyond this. So the truth ultimately is oneness. Oneness is the ultimate truth. And these liberated beings who are the Avadhootas walk in that oneness. You see, they never talk about religion, they never talk about caste, community, a certain path, a certain tradition, a certain belief, a certain faith, a certain culture. They don't talk about it. You just see, all that they talk is divine and one. They don't even take names. They never take names, because name again diversifies. Because there also we have, in the higher realms, we have a lot of divisions. Actually, there is no divisions, but for our sake, a lot of things manifest to us in our own understanding. Like, for example, if I have an affinity in a certain way, in a certain tendency towards a certain being, or towards a certain characteristic of that God, God is this way, God is fierce, God is loving, God is fearsome, God is intelligent, God is powerful, God is mighty, and God is unconditional. All these are our perceptions. So what we reflect in that God, we immediately relate to that kind of a personality that comes from that God, from that supreme tattva. So if somebody, let's say Ram has a certain quality, Krishna has a certain quality, the Guru Nanak has a certain quality, Jesus Christ has a certain quality, Prophet Muhammad has a certain, they all have qualities. The great evolved beings, they have certain qualities. So what we relate to, what is within us, we relate that to outside, and then we personalize that God. God cannot be personalized. That is why in sacred texts, you have these two words called personalized God and impersonal God. So what I am talking here is about the Avadhootas means impersonal God. There is no personality of that God, of that Tattva. Personality comes when we project our own personalities and belief outside into that higher dimension, and that reflects back. Whatever you put out, project, it reflects back and becomes your reality. So if you believe God is angry, like I've seen people who look at Shiva and say, so he's angry God, or he's somebody who's always intoxicated. So I drink, eat and sleep because Shiva does it. And so I have bhang, I have alcohol, I have all kind of drugs. And see, look at Shiva, he's always intoxicated. So these are our own justifications that we give it to a personalized God. There is a God, there is a power. Now we have personalized and capture that personality into that Shiva, and we look into that Shiva as that, but whereas that is not the truth. The real intoxication means the pineal gland. The Amrit is what the liquor that people talk about, the alcohol, as they say, drink alcohol. No. Amrit Pan means drinking the nectar that drops from the pineal gland. When the pineal gland is hyperactive or divinely activated, it starts oozing out something called the Ambrosial nectar. That Ambrosial nectar is so powerful that if it trickles down and you consume it, that is enough. There is no food, water needed to sustain your body, and there is so much of energy, there is so much of power in that. So immortality, that's called the nectar of immortality, the ambrosial nectar. And people are crazily hunting out for ambrosial nectar outside in the Himalayas. It's not outside, it's within us. And this is what the Shiva Tattva shows. And this is what the Shiva Sutras, if you see all the higher scriptures, the Vedas, the Upanishads, they are trying to reveal this is within us. So when they say, I am God, I am Shiva, means I am that Shiva who can drink that nectar. But we just justify it according to our tendency. We have a certain tendency or weakness of drinking, and we say Shiva drinks, and we justify it. So if you see, everything is justified according to our personalized God. Who has personalized it? We have personalized. And how many gods are there? Infinite number. And the more personalized God, the more the divisions. Because then the individual will clash. Oh, my God is this way, your God is that way. I've seen clash in certain religion also. In Hinduism also I've seen clash between Vishnu, Vaishnavites and Shaivites, followers of Shiva, and the Shaks, the followers of Shakti, and the people who follow the Brahma. So it's all there, division is there, but that's not the intent. So if you look at all the beings, even the evolved beings on the planet, it's all personalized. Everywhere you can see it's personalized to a certain tendency. They belong to a certain personalized aspect of that God. So that is still a limitation. It is not the absolute liberation. Now who are the absolute? The mystics, the Avadhootas. You see, they do not belong to any culture. They do not belong to any particular, any ideas. They don't have a personalized God. They don't talk about personalized gods. They might reflect it, that's a different thing. Like, for example, Bhagwan used to sit and somebody come to, a Ram Bhakt comes to him. He used to give him Diksha or a mantra Diksha of Ram Nam. He used to say, Ram Nam Jap Karo. And that person used to think, oh, Bhagwan is a follower of Ram. No, Bhagwan is a follower of who you follow. So you're personalized. He's now catering to your personalized needs. He doesn't need a personalized God. So he understands, okay, this is your devotion and bhakti and faith. Okay, may you attain salvation through the name of Rama. You granted. So he used to make them chant Ram Nam. To a Muslim who came, he said, don't come here. You don't have to come here, because the Muslim complained, I have a lot of problems in my community. They mock me and they tell. He said, don't come here. I belong wherever you are. Then he said, I'm going to Makkah. He said, go there, I will meet you there. And this person, Muslim, goes to Makkah, and when he enters Makkah, he sees Bhagwan Nityananda sitting there. And he's shocked at most. And when he returns back, he's in tears and he says, I saw you there. What was this about? He said, yeah, I'm there everywhere. I told you I'll be there. So what does it mean? No barriers. They are in every tattva that you see. So that is why I keenly follow on these liberated ones, completely liberated, the mystics. And that is why I'm trying to bring out the precious teachings of theirs, which all lead to liberation. I request the people, members, not to share anything that is again personalized, to a certain caste, community, or religion, because it's all good, it's all fine, but we have enough infinite groups and pages who do that. Very less who talk about these mystics, the real ones, the real ultimate ones, the highest, the father of everyone. So this is one quality of theirs, the oneness, the spirit of oneness. They don't have a personalized God or personalized idea about everything. So whoever comes to them, they deal with them in that manner. So I am a Christian. If I go to, I have seen so many places, mystics whom I have met, they have spoken to me about Christ. They don't talk to me about any other God. Suddenly begin talking about, strange. I walk into an ashram near a Jiva Samadhi, a saint comes and this talk. So you are walking on the path of the cross, okay, you know what Jesus means, and blah 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 blah. He goes on talking, real tattva of Jesus. Who told him? They know. And they talk to you because they want you to follow whatever you believe in. They don't want to convert anybody. They don't want to say that no, you have to become like this. If you want liberation, this. No, every place, every being, every path has their own liberation. Every path has their liberation. Every path is valid. Why do people get attracted to certain paths? Because of qualities. If you have qualities, if you have attributes, something called gunas, you will attract such qualities. Wherever you look at a person and you see their lifestyle, you see what kind of activities they do, dincharya. You see what kind of thoughts they have. You see what kind of places they go to. You see what kind of activities they do. You see what is their lifestyle or their behavior. You see what do they believe in. You see what path they follow. You see what religion they follow. Everything will give you just a description. Clear description, a self-introduction of who they are really. Why? Because that will just reflect their qualities. Whatever qualities are in them, they will reflect that in whatever beliefs they have outside. Are you getting this? So, I don't believe any path or any religion or anything is superior, because that's still a limitation, but okay, it's good. It's good. People are moving towards that because people need a school of culture, a school of strong tradition, a root foundation to build up for the higher. Without that, you cannot just leap into the unknown or the nothingness or oneness. To go into Advaita, you need Dvaita. When you have Dvaita, when you have duality, only you will realize the value of Advaita. And you will see the opposites, the Dvaita, duality, everything, how temporary it is, and how meaningless it is, and how contradictory it is, and how it doesn't take you anywhere. There you are still stuck somewhere. That's stickiness. If you have to get out, then when you look at Advaita, you will come to know, oh, this is liberating. Now it is freeing me from the clutches of all these tendencies and attributes that I am linked to. So you then explode out of all that. So it doesn't matter to you. I'm telling you, once you realize the higher aspects of these things, or the true nature of everything, or the Advaitic principles, I'm telling you, everything else will fade away. Rituals will fade away, worship will fade away. Anything that has Dvaita, the dualistic tendency, will fade away. You will just want everything in that oneness, in your space, in your own space, and you will not see division. I'm telling you, the first tendency, the first thing that will happen, the quality of nature will be the divisions will fall, judgments will go away, who is superior, who is inferior, and the false feeling, the tight feeling of that we are this, I am this, you should do this because I say, or we say, we should be doing this, they are doing that, all will just fade off. All that you'll see is okay, and everything will look fine. Okay, even the good and evil will look fine, because ultimately they are all part of that source only, in the evil. That is how even all these mystics, they attract all kind of people, good, bad, ugly. Everybody is there in their vicinity. They don't judge anybody. They teach people for sure to get out of their limitation, but they don't judge anybody. They will not say you're a Muslim, get out. You're a Sikh, get out. You're a Muslim, you're a Hindu, get out. You're a Christian, get out. You're a Parsi, you're a Jain, get out. They don't say all that. Whoever you are, they come. What is wrong in you or invalid for you or your greatest obstacle, they will say get out with that quality. They'll ask that quality to get out. So that's why I say the path or the religion is not known by the quantity of followers. The path or religion is known by the quality of the followers. How many quality beings are being churned that religion or path? That is the essence of that path or that religion or that community or that tradition or that culture. So we cannot boast about our culture. I'm coming from this culture. So yes, but boast more about the qualities. What qualities, how it has made, and how it is making a difference to not just your life, like selfish life, how it is making a difference to everyone around you. It should make, because that's the greatest element of oneness. You start, looking into other people's needs. You start becoming aware of people's miseries, because you are not then sticking with, oh, my problem, my life, my pain, my suffering. No, you become very sensitive to everybody's pain and suffering. Why you become sensitive to everybody? Because you are seeing that oneness. You don't see a separation. And when that quality comes in you, you always try to do something for others. Always try to not just feed yourself with everything, with everybody. You will not want to feed or just yourself with the food. First you look around and see who else is hungry, and first try to feed it, be it animals or plants or worms or reptiles or humans or whoever. You try to cater to that need first. Become selfless. It's more than that. Or you have certain knowledge or wisdom, you will not keep it to yourself. You will not want to selfishly, oh, why, if somebody comes to do or somebody goes, overtakes me and all that, so I shouldn't share. No, you are concerned about others also. So whatever you have got, whatever wisdom, whatever little more, whatever you have got, you try to put it out to others and share it, because you see the oneness in others. You want everybody to evolve. You want everybody to reach there. It's not a rat race where I say, no, I'll go first. And then rest everybody remains suppressed. Till I go there, until I establish myself, nobody else is going to reach there. Because that's a competitor mentality. Because there's a superiority. You want everybody else to stay down. No, it should be like everybody should evolve. And what greatness if thousands of people become enlightened just like that, or liberated. What better? I know it's not easy, but I'm telling you. Why can't we have that kind of a wish that, let hundreds and thousands of people just illuminate and liberate like that, and be transformed or become realized or enlightened? That kind. It's all in our nature. What we want reflects outside. And it can be clearly seen in our manifestations. What we do, our work, everything shows. The reflections in everything that we do, say, or feel, shows in our whatever we do in this world. So that's the reflection. So I was talking about these attributes. These attributes are what binds a person. The three gunas, the sattvic guna, the rajasic guna, and the tamasic gunas. These are all the gunas. The good, bad, ugly, you can call it. So somebody who has a tamasic quality will attract a certain kind of a god, certain kind of a saint, a certain kind of a master, a certain kind of a path, a certain kind of a teacher, certain kind of parents, certain kind of relationship. It's all attraction according to that. You attract those kind of beings to your nature. And as you evolve, you will see the external also changing. As your internal changes, the external also changing. Suppose, for example, you have been, when your state of consciousness was something and you attracted a certain relationship or certain kind of people into your life, and then you are doing your spiritual processes, and over a period of time, or a year or something, or 2 years or 10 years down the line, you see a lot of things have churned out of you, and those qualities are no more within you. So you have lost many attributes of the lower tendency, like tamasic and rajasic. So what will happen is, now if you have more of sattvic tendencies, you will suddenly start losing the people who you had attracted previously. And now your real being, because what you truly are, you attract that. Law of attraction always says what you think you attract. No, I don't believe it. I believe, and I am sure that you attract what you are, not what you think you are or think you want. I say strongly think I want. You cannot think it, because you are emanating what you are. Your being, you are emanating your being. So whoever you are, you just attract that from your external circumstances. And those kind of people, those kind of things and experiences come into your life. So if you want to really know your evolution, you just look outside. What kind of people, what kind of experiences, what kind of feeling, what kind of life you are living. Is it satisfactory? Are you enjoying? Are you divinely blissful? Are you actually experiencing all that you wanted to experience in this lifetime? if you look around, you'll see, yes, it's happening. And if it's not happening outside, and if you see, no, I'm stuck somewhere, then time to change inner, the inner being. Because you change the inner, the outer will change. So I'm talking about these attributes. Now, everything that we see in this world is all related to attributes. Every person, place, thing has got a certain attribute. 100%. They have to have some attribute or the other. Even the highest, whatever we can decipher as highest in this, or the lowest, all have some certain quality or attributes. If somebody is angry, it's a Rajasic quality. You get angry, it's a Rajasic tendency. It's an attribute, it's a guna that's there. If somebody is lazy, somebody who's drowsy, who's not motivated, tamasic guna is there. Somebody who is very holy, somebody who is very divine, somebody who is very positive, somebody who is very nice. Sattvic quality, but it's a quality. And quality is binding, even if you have a good quality. Liberation means quality less, attribute less. Quality means guna. Quality less means nirguna, no guna. So if you see the actual Shiva that we talk about, Shiva, actual, highest, real, truthful Shiva is the nirguna Shiva, no guna. No guna means no attribute, no quality. No quality means no personality. The one that we look at with a certain attire, with a certain form, with a certain gadget, with a certain look, this is all qualities, quality based, and these qualities are trying to give you a symbolic meaning, but we get very serious with those qualities due to our tendencies of attachment or our tendencies of gunas. So it's also a guna. Attachment is a certain guna. You are unable to let go of that guna within us. So if you are unable to let go, you will catch something as a personality. So then you have the personalized God. Okay, so you then relate to only that. And then see, the catch of that is you are still limited. You're still in the catch of those gunas. If you see, even the highest, like I've seen, somebody who's worshipping Shiva. Even I worship Shiva. I'm not saying I'm a Christian, so I'm talking from, please don't take it that way. I'm talking anti-Hindu. No, this is nothing to do with Hindu, Muslim, Christian. This is pure Sanatan. Sanatan means I don't attach even the word Hindu to it, Muslim to it, Christian to it. Sanatan means pure human beings, pure divine beings, the way you are. Sanatani, that's the real thing it is. Sanatani is called quality less, attribute less. You add a noun or a word to it saying dash 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 Sanatani, it has got a quality. The moment it has quality, it is not nirguna, it is not Sanatani. Please understand this. So I'm not against anything. So I've seen with the people that I travel and speak and communicate with, they say, no, God will get angry. Why will God get angry? Oh, he will open his third eye and he'll burn you. He'll punish you. And I said, you have not understood God yet. God is unconditional. He doesn't judge anyone at all. The Shiva that is nirguna is just a witnesser. Who doesn't have a quality, who doesn't have a personality, how can they get into action? He is actionless. There is no action in that nothingness. He is a pure awareness, pure awareness. Somebody told, I'll repeat that. Somebody said, I think Pradeep Ulalji said this. Shiva is so pure that he is not even aware of his own purity. See, you become aware that I am a pure person. It's a quality. It's a guna. It's an egoic tendency. See, I am this. I am a scum. I am pure. Even when you say I am Shiva, if you are talking from nirguna point of view, then perfect. But if you are talking with a guna, I am Shiva, and you are relating to a Shiva, then it's a guna. It's an egoist, and then you will say, nobody dare come near me, I am Shiva. It turns into that. So normally when somebody says I am Shiva, it is from the dualistic mode, but it is to take you inner, deeper into that I am Shiva, which doesn't talk about it. It is not even aware that it is Shiva. You getting? This is the highest truth of. These are all Vedantic philosophies. What I am talking about, Advaitic principles, Advaitic philosophies. So what has happened? The personalized God is gone. It will go when the guna in you goes. Till then you will be having attributes and you will be reflecting that. Then see, the moment you feel God as angry and punishing the bad and rewarding the good, even in the religion that I was born into, they have this punishing the bad and rewarding the good. The moment you are that, you are nothing but throwing your own projections. You are somebody, a personality that punishes all the poor and the bad ones and praise the good ones. That's still partial. There is partiality involved in this. You favor the people whom you feel are good to you or useful to you, or in some way can boost your tendencies or your whatever beingness here. And the rest, who cannot do anything for you, they are of inferior quality. So the priority has gone down of somebody. That is judgment. That is pure judgment, even if you don't speak about it. Even that partial quality. So God is never partial or impartial with anybody. He is one with everybody. You just look at Shiva. If you want to go deep into this, look at Shiva and what do you see? On one side, on the right side, all devatas are from. All the devatas are the gods who are just praising that Shiva Tattva. And who are praising the God. They are gods. And they are bowing down to him. Why? Because he has accepted them. And Shiva is pleased. I don't call that pleased. Please also is a guna. Shiva is watching them pleasantly. Pleasantness is his being, is his real nature. So that being shines to everybody like the sun. And on the left side you see there are Rakshasas, there are Ganas, who are wicked ones, who does all kind of havoc in this world. They are also bowing to him. And Shiva remains unperturbed. He has accepted them also. What does this show? Why are we not looking into these aspects of qualities of Shiva, where you have the Bhutaganas, you have the Devatas? There's no partiality. He treats everyone as his own because the everyness, the wickedness, everything is come out from that same source and it has deteriorated. So it's like his children. That is why we are called as children of the Divine Father Mother. And why will the Divine Father Mother judge anybody? They won't. They are always neutral. So, children means children or all. It doesn't matter. So here also, when there's nothing partial like, oh, this is my blood and genes and DNA in it, so I have a certain approach to this one. Or this doesn't belong to my gene or my DNA group, so I have a different approach to this one. It's not. You look at the Avadhootas, you look at Bhagwan Nityananda, it doesn't matter what gene you have, what DNA you have. He just touches and you're transformed. No partiality. Whoever comes, a Muslim comes, he touches. He doesn't say, oh, this guy will go and do something in the Arab community. No, they are least bothered about it. He said, first get rid of all your attributes and become mukt, become free. Just touch them. And that is how Bhagwan Nityananda touched so many lives on this planet. Many are not even known, because he was not even bothered about who will praise him or who will take note of him or who will collect what he has done and what he has not done and all. He was just spontaneous. He moved around touching people by sight, by thought, by actions, by feelings, by physical gestures. He did a lot of miracles and all that. Why? Concern, the deep concern that they come out of. So that state is a neutral state. No attributes at all. There is no quality. There is no quality even knowing that who am I? I am big. My body is big. He never said my belly is big. He never said my color is black, and he never did anything to change that. Or he accepted himself the way he has nothing to do with it. Neutral, completely neutral, and completely out of body consciousness. There is no body consciousness at all. That is why most of the Avadhootas, if you see, they are almost all of them I've seen walking around this planet, are moving around either nude or they are in rags or dirty clothes or their spit is drooling and their hair is undone, unkept. So we look at them as weird beings. Who are these? They are mad people. If you look closely at their philosophies, you will understand that we are the mad people. They are very enlightened. We are mad behind all this madness, temporary madness of the world, thinking that this is going to last. We say, oh, that Avadhoota is black, that Avadhoota is fat, that Avadhoota is wearing a loincloth, that Avadhoota is eating filth, and that Avadhoota is... so many things. And we judge them according to our standards. So we are supposed to eat good, we are supposed to have etiquettes, and they don't have all this. And go to see, we are stuck with all this. Punarapi janmam, punarapi maranam. It keeps on happening to us, and we are not even aware. Whereas they don't have that janmas. They are liberated. They can be on this planet and keep assuming different bodies and keep doing their work out of this. Who's liberated? They or we? Now tell me, who's mad? They or we? So this is one message that came very strongly to me today since morning. I just came out from the cave. I'm going back to the caves. So this is one place I always have recommended people to come and do sadhana if you want to do tapas. This is the tapabhumi of many sages. Guruvanam is there 5 kilometers from here. That is where Bhagwan lived first in isolation in his cave. He was happy there, and those caves are very mystical and they are very deep and far. That's all closed after a certain end, but they are not what it seems like. So don't go where the grossness and physicality. They are subtle atmospheres there, subtle dimensions connected to these places. And there are subtle beings whom we do not understand or relate to, keep moving in and out of these kind of places. And it's a very active place for the subtle astral realms. So astral realms, I should share this, because even in the astral realms there are gods and goddesses and deities and angels and masters. There are many subtle beings of high evolved nature and even of lower natures. The evil, the ghostly, all those things also are there. That also is, this is the astral dimension which we cannot see. Now you link up to people who whatever quality you have. If you have quality, a certain quality, you will adhere, you will attract into your space those kind of beings, even higher angelic beings. There are multiple angels, multiple ascended masters, multiple beings of light, many of them, and all have certain qualities. This is what I want to tell you. Why are there so many? Because everybody, even when they leave their body, they go with attributes. They might be highly sattvic. They might have diminished all their rajasic and tamasic qualities, but they still have very divinely qualities in them. But that is still a quality. Even the urge that I am a divine being, I'm a nice being, I want to help everybody, I want to do this. That I which is there, it's a quality. It comes out of ego only, even if it is sattvic quality. So if you leave the body with that kind of pure tendency, also it's a tendency. You hover around with that tendency, wanting to do something, because you're still a doer there, wanted to do something. You have a personality of your own, even in the astral realms, and you want to maybe help people from the astral realms. I think that. So there is a certain personality that comes with it, that beingness. So there are all kind of these beings out there. You have so many crores of gods and goddesses in the cultures. Why? Because they all have certain qualities. You go from place to place. There are Kshetrapals. There are guardians of certain place. They are called Kshetrapals. They are the rulers or the protectors of that divine place. Even divine place have got protectors, and that also has a certain tendency, a fierce tendency of protection and punishment. It can do all those things. That's a quality. So what I'm trying to say is that is still not the ultimate state. That those beings also have not reached their ultimatum state. Who has reached? The Avadhootas, who are walking around on this earth. Very spontaneous that they even wear these bodies and move around. They don't sit there with an agenda. It's very spontaneous. They just end up with that kind of a body or a spaceship around their being, and they come there and they do. Of course, there are these beings who take on qualities purposely. Like many beings are there who do not have a quality, but they fake a quality, fake a certain kind of quality to keep them going. Like we say there is something called a positive ego and a negative ego. Even see, if you are divine and you are on earth to do a positive, like for example, I am doing this so-called divine or positive work, there is an ego behind this. I don't say I'm egoless, but it's a positive drive, it's a positive ego. It's a drive towards to do something, but it's still motivated by ego. You remove ego and there is no absolute desire for or will for anything. You are qualityless. So to function in this world, you need quality, and for that quality, you need ego. So there is ego, positive and negative. But what I'm trying to say is, even the positive ego is not to be boosted too much. It's nothing that you justify yourself saying that, oh, this is, I'm doing good, and so I'm supposed to be this and I'm supposed to be that. And I have my justification, and I demand this kind of attention. I need this kind of fructification. And if not, then I get, that's a quality. That's why it's happening. So the positive ego also, what I'm trying to tell, all the astral beings have a positive ego. Straight to the point. They have a certain positive ego. Now, having even that positive ego is limitation. It's a binding. Like, I'm doing this, it's a binding. It's not, but I'm aware of it, then we all work towards it. That also, eventually that should go. But you should be aware that this also is not valid. Just being sattvic, just being good is not enough. Like, if I'm reading some scriptures, or if I'm reading the Vedas or the Upanishads or the Puranas, and let us say I'm writing a book or I'm teaching it to people or something, what is the intention behind it? Are we doing that in neutrality? If there is neutrality, then you are revealing the highest truth. If there is some other kind of gunas, even the positive guna, then there is certain kind of quality, attribute hidden in that message, and that is still not a complete message. Though it might be the purest, you might be reading the Vedas, you might be preaching the Vedas, but if that preaching is not done from a point of certain neutrality, without judging the up or the low, the scriptures or the listeners, absolutely, and just conveying it like a medium, that is neutrality, qualityless. So you see, all these things matter much, but we do not give our attention much to this. So I thought I must share this, and I cannot say I must share this, and these are my thoughts. I don't know whose thoughts, but I was here, then it came that I should make a video, and that's what I'm trying to do here. And while I do this, there are so many other things that I learn also from this. I watch my own videos and learn a lot of stuff that's going on, what's going on within, and from there I'm able to relate to what can be done to the best of my ability here. So I think I'm going back now into the space, and if you the ashram is now open, I think it's all open, and now people are coming in here to do all the tapas and all that. And if you feel like, you can always connect to this place and reach here and fulfill your desire to do that austerity. So with this, I'm taking a leave, but some more final suggestions that I have in this video. This is the caves. You can say it's beautifully built with some kind of a divine intent. There are 44 caves in this. So whenever you come here and you want to meditate in the caves, it is my personal experience that whenever I come here, there are many new people who come here, and they want to know, like, what is the meditation that we need to do here, or how do we go about, and what exactly do we need to do sitting in this caves. So to tell you, basically what I tell everybody who asks this is, there is no technique, there is no method. Whatever suits you to take you inward, do that. The purpose of this cave only, if you see Bhagwan Nityananda's intention of the cave, the symbolic representation, cave is our inner cave, inner chamber of our heart, inner chamber of our soul. So it is entering within, leaving everything outside, enter the cave within. So this is symbolically what we are supposed to do. So when we leave everything outside and enter into the cave, it means we are withdrawing from external senses and going within. So when you sit down in any of these caves, the idea is that when you enter these caves, there is a left chamber and right chamber. There are multiple caves of different sizes and forms. Whichever you feel attracted to, go and sit there and meditate. If you look closely, this whole cave is like a head. You enter the cave, and this is like a skull, and the brain has got the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. So this, you'll find the whole cave also distributed in that manner, the left zone and the right zone. So wherever you feel pulled and attracted to, go and sit there and meditate. That is the place you are supposed to be. Your intuition will tell you. So wherever you feel attracted, sit in that place, and whatever has to happen. Because every zone of these caves, I am told, has got various effects, different effects on our brains, on our lives. So wherever you are supposed to, you will be there. So once you enter the caves and you find your secluded spot, sit there and just withdraw from everything. Cut out all your mobiles and everything and just be seated and pull your attention within, and then use any method that you can to for the cessation of all thoughts. Just try to cut out all the thoughts one by one by concentrating something on within. You can concentrate on the darkness within, or you can concentrate on some sound within without making a sound. It might be Om, it can be any chant. It can be the main chant here as Om Namo Bhagwate Nityanandaya, but not to be said verbally. It has to be vibrating within your skull. So imagine and feel that mantra continuously chanting in your skull. Or you might focus on your third eye, the center of your skull, and focus on that darkness there for some time. Or the best method that everybody follows is the breath. Just go within and follow your breath. Inward breath and outward breath. Be with your breath continuously. Feel what is the sensation, what is the temperature of the breath, how does it feel when it goes through the nose down to your chest and coming back again. Be focused on that. So when you are doing that, automatically the cessation of thoughts will happen and suddenly a blankness will come in, or it might eventually happen. Even if you don't get that, nothing to worry about. Just keep doing it again and again. Over a period of time, you'll understand that being empty is most important. So once you become empty, then the actual thing begins here. So mind has to become empty, then everything will start happening. So till then, you got to put a little efforts on that. So that's all that you need to do here. And yes, whenever you feel like coming here, take minimum 3 days off. Do not come for 1 day visit, because then you will be curious to just visit places and you will be only attending aartis and visiting places and going to Guru and coming back. Whole day will go in, talking to people and understanding things. Best is to take 3 days, because first day you can do all this, you can find out, explore and all that. Second day, settle down in the caves. Very important, settle down in the caves. As much as time, spend time in these 44 caves or in the cave of Guruvanam. Third day, you will see that you are more relaxed down. By the third day, things should start happening in your system. So minimum 3 days you can spend, or 5 days or 7 days, as much as you can. For the first time, if you're coming, come for 3 days. And when you come, leave everything back home, all your business, all your work. Do not keep your work schedules. Do not keep your phone on, or some situations where you'll have to attend to phone. Cut everything off, otherwise I'm telling you, it's of no use. If you're coming with the world here, it's of no use. Leave the world behind and come here. And I can assure you, there will be a lot of beautiful things that you will see by the end of the third day. And when you go back, you will sense it, you will experience it. So with this, I take your leave. Much divine love and light to all of you. May we all be blessed. Gurudev Sharanam. Guru Mandala Sharanam. Om Namo